All right, you should have the option to include your audio now.
Done and done.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host for today's broadcast, Insane Leader 13, as we are preparing to go away for our second of 7 rounds for Sunshine League's 1960s F1 series. I am joined in the broadcast booth today by
Dremora, aka Demon Master Reviews.
Alright, so Dremora, this car is very interesting, very difficult to drive, but a little bit out of the wheelhouse for a lot of the people here. Very, very light. You got a lot of power in a straight line. You got tires that are grooved, so you're not getting maximum traction in a straight line. You're not getting maximum grip in the corners. But most significantly, no downforce, and the weight, the center of the weight in the car is extremely low slung, lower, honestly, than where the tires are. Honestly, handling is going to be the biggest thing, and we're coming here to the Bernese Alps at the Stadplatz circuit. In any car that has a little bit more grip and a little bit more downforce, you can take a lot of these corners pretty close to flat. There's really only about 3 or 4 heavy braking zones. With these cars, that's not really the case. You gotta run a little bit earlier in a practice lobby with ludicrous speed in the Eagle.
Oh, yeah.
In your opinion, what's your thoughts as to what we can see going down in today's event?
Well, like you said, yes, I was in a little practice lobby with obviously yourself and Ludicrous Speed, and obviously me and Ludicrous, we were in the Eagle, and it's easy to keep this car in second or third gear, and it would feel oh so damn comfortable. So yeah, it's. But yeah, I have no understanding of some of the other ones, but the Eagle, chef's kiss. As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So, interesting things to consider. Last week we had 10 not last week, that was last week, it was TORA. 2 weeks ago we had 10 drivers showing up at Monza. This week, slightly smaller field, only 8 people. Really interesting thing in the championship standings, though, because some of our top performers last week, like Apex Blade, not showing up today. So this is a good chance for people who didn't have a great run last week to maybe rebound and, claw some positions back in the points table. DTS TBK, he got, as far as I'm understanding properly, he got disqualified after putting together a great start, but not a great finish to the race last week. He got DSQ due to having improper rims on the car. They believe they've gotten that fixed in the Honda, and DTS had a very, very good run last week. I'm curious to see what he can do here. But honestly, last week it was the Ferrari that absolutely walked away and dominated the event. I'm curious to see if it's going to be similar, because Monza's a power-focused track. This is not. This is a handling-focused track. This is where the Ferrari is at strongest. But we look on the grid, your pole sitter, I didn't expect this. It looks like it's going to be Ludicrous Speed in the Eagle. A very unexpected development, to say the least.
Yeah, and he is currently second in the points, only behind LMR Critical, who isn't showing up. The only people that are in the points that I can see currently that we got that are going to be in there are
they're all on top of each other. Yeah, they went away right off the line, and they're 3 wide coming out of turn 1 still. And it looks like Sunshine has the advantage on the outside line with a little bit more power. Look at that Eagle getting all the way sideways in front of Lynx. They're 4 wide, 5 wide nearly as they come down. Now for the downhill run. Lynx is the one up in front. Sunshine, Ludicrous Speed are right in his draft. Flying downhill. Lynx is sideways. Here comes Ludicrous Speed to the inside. But that Eagle will have to likely break a little bit earlier. You gotta be careful going into this corner. Locking up potentially. It looks like our top 3 will get out of there fine. SFN Darkster is now putting pressure on Ludicrous Speed. Ludicrous continues to close in on Lynx on the straights, but in the corners, Lynx just kind of pulls away a little bit, and already in the back of the field, we're seeing a little bit of fall off. That is DTS TPK and Mr. Sunshine, who has fallen to the back of the field right now.
Yes, indeed. Meanwhile, Ludicrous with heads all over the back bumper of Ludicrous Speed here, trying to force Ludicrous into making a mistake and capitalize on it, but so far so good for Ludicrous as he's trying to catch up to LMP Lynx here. Also not too far back is Racing Jason, who currently sits in 4th, and he, not too far back from him is Vera, who both of them are potentially might be battling to see who gets the points lead in the amateur division.
Yeah, Vera did not have a great run last week. Very nearly went a lap down, but put together a relatively strong qualifier today. It'd be interesting to see if she can pull something decent out here. All right, this has gotten really interesting because, oh my god, Lynx is sideways right in front of Ludacris. Darkster pushes Ludacris into the wall. Nothing malicious, I assure you. It's just these cars are super sensitive. And you can see that Eagle gets a massive run and a run right into the grass.
Oh, Ludacris into the tire wall!
And that will drop him all the way back to 6th position. So now at the front is LMP Lynx and SFM Darkster all by themselves.
Yes, Ludacris was able to correct it there and get it back going, but that forces him back to 6th place now.
Oh, you can see how much of a jump they get over that little hill right before you get into these final few S's. Lynx is still runs ahead of SFM Darkster right now.
Yes, Ted is closing in on Lynx here. And he's got like a head full of speed coming. Like he is literally like a car length from LMP Lynx, and he's gonna go
dives into one.
Yes, he's gonna
slide jump potentially, but Lynx has just got a little bit nimbler, a little bit speedier of a car, so he's able to make his way through the corners faster and kind of denies Darkster the ideal lines.
Yes, indeed, but you could tell that Darkster possibly has the advantage. He is Ferrari versus Brabham. Seems like the Brabham is better suited here than that Ferrari of...
No, those are both Brabhams, I believe.
Oh, they are Brabhams? Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, I believe both of them are Brabbers. Lynx has a Ferrari-esque paint scheme on, but these are both Brabhams as far as I can tell.
Yes, you
are correct. They just drifted it through the heaviest braking zone. They just drifted it side by side, and Lynx has the advantage still somehow. Jason is 2.5 seconds out of this fight. Mind you, Lynx and Jason are teammates, and normally it's Jason who's ahead of Lynx, so this is I'm sure, a very interesting dynamic for that duo.
Yes, exactly. It's a very interesting dynamic, to say the least. And like you said, Lynx, he's trying to keep Darkster at bay. But
Again, there's not any downforce on these cars, so what that means is that in a straight line, you're going to get a much more powerful draft because of the way Forza physics works. If your car and the car ahead does not have any downforce naturally applied by the game, then that means your drag is way higher and you'll get pulled a lot faster in a straight line. We saw that at Monza. I really didn't expect to see that here, but that is exactly what's playing out. I think Darkster might not have a build that's way superior than Lynx, but the draft really pulls him back, and Lynx just barely touches the outside tire barrier.
Yeah, should be lucky he did not clip a tire wall like what happened with Ludacris.
One other thing I remember is that in this series, and Darkster goes really wide and sideways into the braking zone.
Lynx goes a little bit wide too.
Yeah, Lynx dove it hard on the entry. Darkster tried to compromise his entry to have a better exit. And while these two are still fighting each other, they are pulling on Jason. Racing Jason is now nearly 4 seconds out of this fight.
Yeah, obviously, for me, it's not in seconds, but it's about literally over 800 feet these two have put on Racing Jason and the rest, because I think Jason is, well, Ludacris' speed has finally caught up from 6th to 4th now.
Also, there's a fight for 5th between Vera and Larry.
Larry B, the 13 of Vera and the 5 of Larry B. Larry B gonna look to the inside.
Larry's in the Ferrari, and he's one of the drivers I really anticipate some good results from if he can turn some clean laps and clean air. I think that Ferrari has the potential to go right to the front if it's got a good setup.
Yes, but so far it's even between these two. Larry clears Vera, but Vera comes back. Vera to the inside of Larry.
And on this run downhill, this is where Vera will have the advantage because that car has way more straight line speed than the Ferrari, which is down on power compared to just about everything else in the category.
Yeah, and they both get right. All the while, Mr. Sunshine Also, ACR Capri.
Yeah.
Because
Rough
no,
time
that's
for
his-
DTS TBK. He had a good start at Monza, but here it's been just the exact opposite. He is kind of out in no man's land back there in 8th by himself.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm looking at Mr. Sunshine. He is currently in the McLaren, the only McLaren in the field at the moment. Racing the only Ferrari in the field, there it be.
Meanwhile, I look back at the front, and Lynx still holds position over Darkster, but Darkster has a great run coming down the start-finish line straight. He'll look to the inside again, side by side for the top position as they go sailing into turn 1. Lynx still has the advantage on the outside. Darkster inside.
Yes, Darkster trying to see if he can make that inside work, but to no avail. Lynx holds on and keeps the lead, but here comes
Lynx
Lynx is sideways, a little bit sideways.
But he was so sideways, he just barely keeps the rear of the car out of the tires. Puts the down. Here comes Darkster. This is Darkster's best chance as they come running downhill. He slides his head in front of Lynx.
Yes, Ted got it, but here comes
Contact. Lynx on the outside, Darkster inside. You both gotta be careful, and Lynx gets him back on the outside.
Unbelievable power move from Lynx right there. But Darkster, he's not done. Here comes Darkster back on the inside. They are side by
still
side.
Holding. Oh, you don't want to be side by side as you come up on this hill. If you're side by side on this hill, you're just asking for an accident. Darkster has his nose ahead. Lynx is not backing out.
Oh, can he clear him? Though. Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Cleared him.
Ted clears him. Ted to the lead. New leader, SFM Darkster.
And Darkster, mind you, didn't even know he was going to be running 36 hours before this event. He's kind of shown up as a Johnny-come-lately sign-up, but he is now out in front ahead of Lynx. Lynx runs right behind. Also, Ludicrous Speed has gotten by Racing Jason for third. If these top two keep fighting and Ludicrous doesn't have any more incidents, Ludicrous might be able to run these two back down and make it a menage a trois for the top spot once again.
Yeah, yes, indeed. A three-way battle would make it very, very interesting with Darkster, Lynx, and Ludicrous.
Oh, Lynx absolutely sends it there into the corner and is actually going to go right to the outside. Darkster runs it wide. Lynx touches the outside wall. He touches it again. This is going to cost him a chunk of time.
Yes, indeed. The gap now only about maybe two and a half car lengths between Darkster and Lynx. Here comes Lynx. Lynx looks, it's a charge. He's going to dive down to the inside. No avail. Darkster holds on to the lead.
We're only having an 8-car field. We are definitely eating good in the neighborhood, considering how incredible this fight at the front has been from the start. Darkster holding a wider line, Lynx holding the narrower, tighter line. This will give Darkster a stronger run up through the hill, but Lynx has the draft, so he doesn't let Darkster get too far away. They both get a bunch of air over that hill, under braking. Oh, wow, Darkster made a bit of a mistake. Here comes Lynx. Lynx has got him in the S's. Darkster made a bit of a mistake coming into the S's, and Lynx powers through.
Yes. Lynx back up into the lead, but here comes Darkster now.
He's
pitting. Darkster into the pitting. He is pitting.
So this is going to be where things get interesting, because now it all comes down to who runs the best by themselves, and also where is Darkster going to end up in relation to the rest of this traffic, because if Darkster ends up having to fight with other people who haven't pitted yet, it could really end up harming his lap times and could give Lynx a gigantic advantage. Mind you, the back of the field's really not spread out as much as we thought. But right now, Darkster is 7 seconds about behind DTS TBK, so for all intents and purposes, both Darkster and Lynx are going to be running in clean air. Also, Ludicrous Speed has recovered all the way up into second now. Would have been third, but, you know, we had someone out in the top 2 pit. He is less than 5 seconds out from Lynx right now, so I think Ludicrous is recovering from his lap 2 instant there, and is now starting to claw his way back up through the field. He's also pulling away from Jason, who is currently in third. And then right behind Jason is Mr. Sunshine. Sunshine, he's trying to build a dream, make it the cutest car that he's ever seen. As they come up over the hill, right before they come into the S's. Big jump. Oh. Every time I see those cars go over that jump, my heart goes jumping into my chest.
Yeah, but it can be exhilarating sometimes.
I mean, racers are, when it really comes down to it, racers are just drug addicts, and the drug that they're addicted to is adrenaline and speed. Not like drug speed. I'm talking like, the sensation of high miles an hour. So yeah, Jason in the Lotus. I actually turned some laps in the Lotus earlier. Now, granted, the Lotus I ran was basically full stock, so it wasn't quite properly upgraded to this. Lotus is really not strong here. Sunshine, who is in the McLaren, like you said earlier, that McLaren is way better set up for a circuit like this. It has a little bit more grip.
Yeah, there are several cars in these that I think are really, really great here. And I think the McLaren, from what I'm seeing, the Brabham and the Eagle are probably the best cars, at least for a track like this.
Yeah, the Lotus doesn't really have a whole lot of tire width to offset its massive amount of power.
TBK into the wall!
And for TBK, who is in 6th position, that is really going to cause an issue for him. One person that won't cause an issue for, though, is Darkser, because that means Darkser won't have to worry about overtaking TBK on the track. Sunshine's gotten by Jason for 3rd while we've been going on that.
Yeah, TBK, the only one in the field that's a Honda. So a Japanese-powered open-wheel car.
Honda's love affair for F1 goes a ridiculously long ways back, to say the least. Although, in the last 40 years, it's more of a love-hate relationship.
Obviously, we probably know their famous partnership with McLaren.
McLell.
Oh, yep.
So Jason seems to be falling off of Sunshine. Jason had a relatively strong start. I was all the way as high as 3rd at one point, but right now he is falling down the order slowly but surely. The next person that might catch him would be Vera Tabinix. Tabinix? I just call him Vera. I'll just call her Vera. And Vera is trying to keep a respectable gap away from Darkser. I absolutely love watching Vera just completely throwing it sideways. She's running about a 25-degree angle through some of these corners. It's absolutely bloody fantastic what she's pulling off there. And then Darkser, who is in 6th position. Right now he wants to run as many laps in clean air as he can. I imagine he believes that in clean air, he is faster than your current leader, Lynx. Those two were the main two fighting with each other.
Yes, absolutely. He wants to get back to battling Lynx here.
Absolutely incredible start. The first about half lap, we had them going 2, 3, 4, even as high as 5 wide through the first few corners of the race. Everything's spread out now, but it's still absolutely incredible seeing what these people can do. Darkser is closing on Vera at a rapid rate. I think Darkser is going to have to figure out a way by Vera in the next lap or so. Unless Vera pits now, Darkser is going to find himself potentially compromised by Vera.
Yes. But Vera, looks like Darkser is closing in on Vera.
Gap's now down to 1.3 seconds, 1.4, 1.3-ish as they go through turn 1. Just about a third of the way through the event here. And again, no yellow flags in the F1 60 series here. Although, granted, with how spread out these races get, I don't think there would even really be much of an opportunity for yellow flags. And these cars are so wide and low sprung, it's not like you're going to roll these. Oh, Darkser pounds a wall on the outside. Now he pounds again. And he's around. And Darkser's gone around on the straight. On the longest straight, Darkser has gone around. And that's going to kill his momentum and kill his chance at the top spot. Now 2 of our top 3 fastest drivers, Lucas Speed and SFM Darkser, have both had accidents. And this is great news for Lynx at the front.
Yes, he loved to. He probably is maybe smiling ear to ear right now.
And mind you, Ludacris, who's in 2nd, he had gotten that gap down to about 4 seconds earlier, but it's starting to open back up about 4.5, 4.6 seconds. That accident that Ludacris had earlier may be enough to compromise him. I think it's going to be a fight between Ludacris and Darkser for 2nd now, unless Lynx has an instant of his own.
Oh,
but that's kind of...
there is severe damage on Darkser's car.
How bad is it? Let's see.
All rear. The rear is, like, gone. Oh my God!
Did he
He
just
just bow.
rage
He bowed
quit?
out. He bowed out. Oh my!
I would hope he didn't rage quit. Well, this would basically pretty much solidify our top 2 in position. No one has been able to touch Lynx or Ludicrous except for Darkser. And with Darkser bowing out like that, seems like that's the case. I don't know. I've sent an invite to Darkser to see if he'd be willing to give a interview.
Yeah, we'll figure all this out.
So in the end, Darkser trying to run down Vera ends up having a significant accident. Seems like Darkser actually ran a lot better when he was fighting with someone else who was about his speed, but going up against someone who was a lot slower didn't work out so well. Also, don't look now, Ludicrous Speed is closing the gap back down. It's now down to 3.7 seconds at the top.
Yes. Wait, what? Are we getting like a...
I hope we're not losing another person. Oh, that's DTS TBK, who's 7th, and now we're down to just 6 people.
All right, Ted.
All right, and coming into the party right now is SFM Darkser. Darkser, go ahead, include your audio. A fantastic start of this race, but getting off strategy seems to have bit you in the rear. Walk us through that race from your perspective, mate.
Yeah, it was a really good start, chasing after Lynx. We were basically tandem drifting the opening couple laps, and then just coming in the last sector, I bottomed out a little bit, and the car careened into the inside wall in the last corner and got damaged, so I pitted. Then a couple laps later by myself, coming down the hill, middle of the road, I have no idea what happened, but the car just exploded. So at that point, I pulled into the pits and said goodnight.
Well, we were riding on board when it happened, so you can at least go back to the stream maybe later and work out what happened then. Fantastic performance, though, considering that about 36 hours ago, you didn't even know if you were running. I know you're out of this race and you're going to finish last, but that first third of this race from you, mate, no doubt about it, absolutely incredible. Will you show up and run some more races in this series in the future?
Yeah, if I'm around, I'll definitely try to stop in. I really love these cars, and I would have kept doing that one, but I was just totally by myself, and I didn't want to keep dying, so I will make the car behave itself and come back next time.
All right, fantastic drive out there, mate. Shame to see it's ended so soon, but I do want to say thanks for jumping in and talking with us. Hopefully we get to see more of you like this in the future.
Yeah, I will probably check your stream up and watch until I go insane. Pun not intended.
All right. Well, there's one other person who has dropped out thus far. That's DTS TBK. We're going to try and reach out to them and see if they have anything to say about their run. But if not, it's just going to be these 6 guys to the end. And the gap at the front is starting to come down. Sunshine is getting closer to Ludicrous. Ludicrous is getting closer to Lynx. And these 3 have not made their first stop of the day yet. We're not quite to the halfway point of this race also. So once we're past the halfway point, we can imagine these drivers will all make their stop.
Yeah.
So we have
6 drivers.
Grab him really sideways there. So at the front, we have a Brabham, an Eagle, and a McLaren in the top 3 positions. And something may have happened to Sunshine, because Sunshine has all of a sudden just hemorrhaged a bunch of time compared to the drivers around. Did he hit a wall or something?
Yes, he did.
Oh, that car is damaged. That rear in that car is completely totaled. Oh, and he'll have to make his stop now, lap 15, so not quite halfway through this race. The good news for Sunshine is that this can basically be his single stop. And as long as he doesn't get involved in another incident, he'll be able to continue. But this will drop him back to 5th, potentially even 6th for the moment. So right now, I think it's just going to come down between Lynx and Ludicrous Speed. Lynx has not set a wheel wrong. I shouldn't say that, because Darkster did get by him at one point, but Lynx has not gone into any wall at any point today, and that might end up being the deciding factor that could grant him the victory here.
Yes, indeed, and I believe, if I'm looking at this right, I believe he's currently in He is currently, well, 6th in points at the moment. A win might put him up there, but I don't know about potentially first, maybe second or third. Depends on that.
Big thing to consider with Lynx, though, is that it's all going to come down to, it really isn't just Lynx, it's really across the entire season as a whole. And Lynx has gone, hit the wall, and gets all sideways coming out of the foul corner. He still has the power down, he's still going, but Ludicrous Speed in second is now within 2.5 seconds of your leader. The gap at the front is closing. It's now down to 2.1 seconds as they dove into the first corner.
Oh, a very ill timing accident for Lynx has potentially opened the door for Ludicrous to catch back up and potentially get the lead again. Take the lead from Lynx.
Yeah, and these two have walked away from third place, who is Racing Jason, Lynx's teammate right now. At the moment, there's a fight between Jason, Vera, and Sunshine for third.
Oh,
Ludicrous is back off
again!
into the grass in the same part he did earlier. He'll touch the outside wall. Is there any damage to that car?
Absolutely no damage at the moment. He is all good.
Good news, no damage. The bad news, though, is that the gap, which had
has
just
increased.
closed to 2.1 seconds, now it's 6 seconds. So Lynx makes a mistake, and then Ludicrous makes an even bigger one at the front.
Oof.
And Vera has just gone by Jason. Jason has just gone off at the exact same part of the track, and Vera goes by for third now.
Oof.
There's no damage on Jason's car as far as we can tell, but Vera now moves up into third. Vera did not have a great run 2 weeks ago at Monza, but she is absolutely rebounding strong here. Now in a very legitimate podium position fight here at the Alps. Oh my goodness, this entire final sector, it makes me clench my chest muscles, my thigh muscles, my shoulder muscles, every muscle so much. Ludicrous makes his stop halfway through the event. Ludicrous has actually set the best lap of the day thus far. It's not been Lynx, it's actually Ludicrous who set the fastest lap of the day. But he needs to try and outrun instances he'd had. Alright, so Lynx has led the majority of the race thus far and has yet to make his first stop of the day. Vera, who is in second, is 22 seconds out. Racing Jason, his teammate, is third, 25 seconds out right now. And bad news for Ludicrous, he's actually not too far behind Sunshine. Ludicrous already had to make his way past Sunshine earlier after his lap 2 off-track excursion. He might have to do it again here. What car is Vera in? Let me check. Vera is running in a Brabham. So once again, our top 2 cars on track are Brabhams, so they seem to be, generally speaking, the better car to be in. That's not to say you're not going to have any instance if you're in the thing. We saw with Darkser he said he got into the wall right before he made his stop, and then he had that second instance, so it's not like you get into the Brabham, you're free of issue. But it does seem like the Brabham is a little bit less prone to accidents and injuries compared to the others on track right now.
But it looks like Jason is trying to catch up to Vera.
These two, Jason and Vera, have kind of been in each other's zip code within about 4 seconds of each other for a while. But Vera has gotten by Jason earlier after Jason went off circuit. So we're over halfway through this event right now. And the closest battle on track is honestly second and third, and there's kind of a fight between fourth and fifth. But when I say fight, we're talking multiple second gaps. It's more of a stalking battle right now. Everyone's just kind of off on their own, just turning lap time solo right now.
Oof. Sunshine a
And
little
there
bit
goes your
loose.
leader into the pits. So this is going to be where things get really interesting. Ludicrous Speed, who is in 5th, is the highest running of everyone who's already made their stops, but we're anticipating that Ludicrous Speed is going to still be behind Lynx. The big thing is Lynx going to have to deal with traffic once he's out of the pits. Vera's coming in as well, so Vera in 2nd place comes in. So it will be teammates 1, 2, Lynx and Jason on track. Lynx has now made his stop. Jason has yet to make his stop, though. Sunshine in 3rd is also yet to make their stop, and Ludicrous in 4th has made a stop. The gap between 1st and 4th, though, let me check real quickly. Oh, that's Vera. I didn't want to look at Vera, I wanted to look at Ludicrous. Time behind the leader right now. Ludicrous, who is in 4th, is 15 seconds off of Lynx right now, so it does not look like Ludicrous is going to catch Lynx by any measure, unless Lynx has an accident in these final few laps or gets disconnected. Did someone else just disconnect? Racing Jason, out of 2nd position, has now disconnected from the event.
Wow.
So the ability to stay to the end of this race seems to be really up in the air. We started with 8 drivers. We're now only down to 5. This is for drivers looking for a title fight. This could be really interesting. All right, coming in the party right now is Racing Jason. Jason, go ahead, include your audio. Looks like it's been a really rough and interesting time for you that ends too early. Include your audio. What happened out there?
I left. That's it. I left.
Wow.
I mean, that's about it. I didn't want to do it anymore. The car
There you
is
go.
infuriating to drive. But I learned that I can change cars. I just will lose all the points I scored, so I'm giving up on the Lotus next race. I'm just going to switch into a different car. I can't do it anymore. I care less about fighting for the championship. I just want to win some races, so I mean, like, and I know it's the car at this point. There's no excuse for it. If I'm supposed to be the same speed as Lynx, roughly, and he's lapping 3 seconds a lap quicker than me, I can't say that's me anymore. It's at least someone I race with all the time I can compare myself to. I should be the same pace, if not maybe slightly quicker than him, and the fact I'm 3 seconds off when I'm running good lines when I try to is, there's a point where I can't look at myself anymore. So, I mean, I'm just not bothered. That's about it. I wasn't going to drive the car anymore.
About 3 hours before this race, I jumped into I hosted a lobby with my co-broadcaster here. I forgot your name. I'm so sorry.
Dramora.
Dramora,
Yes.
yeah. I jumped in here in a lobby with you, Dramora, and Ludicrous Speed, and I actually jumped into the same Lotus that you're in. And yeah, I have to agree. The Lotus around here is ungodly difficult. You have basically no grip whatsoever. A lot of power, but there's really only one straightaway you can open it up in, and even there, like, it's kind of got a weird set of bends in the middle of that straight. So yeah, I don't blame you one bit. So do you have an idea what car we will see you in next week then?
I would do the Ferrari, but it's kind of the basic choice. I forget. I think Lynx was in the Brabham. I'll probably just grab whatever car he's in because he's got a tune for it. So I don't know. I'll just,
All right.
because there's not many people in that car. I think it's just him, and if he's got a good setup for it.
Nah, there's like 2 other people in that car. Right now, I think
Oh.
there's more Brabhams than anything else.
I don't know. I want to throw the car out the window as like a factor and just be able to perform on the same level as everyone else. So I'm just gonna grab the Brabham probably.
All right, shame to see us happen to you like this. Hopefully, we'll get to see you on the channel tomorrow, though, for the F122 race, and things will go better for you then.
I hope so.
Shame to see this day has gone like this, though, for you. Thanks for jumping in and talking with us, though, mate.
Yeah, no, y'all have a good one.
You do, man.
So 5 drivers left on the track, and this is by default going to be a fantastic points day for everybody here.
Yes, indeed. Especially, I think, for Lynx with the possibility of potentially getting the points lead.
Yeah. The gap between 1st and 3rd, Lynx and Ludicrous, is starting to shrink again. It's back down to 12 seconds. But for Lynx, he could afford to have a few small mistakes. As long as he doesn't damage the car, he should be fine. Honestly, at this point, Lynx could afford to lose about a second to lap, and he would still be ahead of Ludacris by race's end. Sunshine's kind of the wild card in this, though, because Sunshine, I do not believe, has made his stop yet. Maybe he has, and I'm not aware of it. But I think Sunshine has made his stop. He has 88% left in the tank, so he has. I think he has made a stop. Okay, so Sunshine is trying to run down Lynx, so I'm wrong. Lynx can't give away that time. I inappropriately thought that Sunshine had not made a stop yet. He has. So the top three all are fighting on merit with each other right now. Sunshine trying to stay ahead of Ludacris. We saw Ludacris get by Sunshine earlier, but right now it does not seem like the Eagle has what it takes to get by the McLaren. So your top three on track is Brabham, McLaren, Eagle, and then that fourth place car, Vera, that's another Brabham. Fifth place, Larry B, who is the last car running right now. He has
a Ferrari.
He is in, yeah, he's in the Ferrari. Again, I'm really shocked. I really expected the Ferrari to be incredibly competent here. Yeah, it wouldn't have a whole lot of power in the straights, but should be able to breeze through the corners like butter. And we see him go through these corners with basically no issue whatsoever. But I'm guessing power means a little bit more than I was anticipating here. And because of that, he is way off the pace, about 20 seconds behind Vera at the moment.
Yeah, that's surprising to me how far down Larry is compared to everybody else.
Yeah, Ludacris speed has brought the gap down to about 3 seconds behind Sunshine. So as we look out the back of Sunshine's car, every now and again when you come onto a straight, you can see that Eagle pop up. Oh, and Lynx just have an accident! Has Lynx had an accident? Lynx has suddenly lost all of his advantage! What has happened to our leader?
Oh my god!
Is the car damaged?
Lots of it
Oh,
on the
it's
front.
totaled!
Oh my
Oh,
god!
no!
A major
And Lynx,
mistake.
the car is... He's still in it, though. He's still fighting with Sunshine. That car is totaled steering. It's got a total driveline. He's still dueling it out with Sunshine right now, though.
Yes, but for how much longer? Sunshine has the lead somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah,
But
Lynx has
Lynx
had an accident, and the man who has dominated all day long now finds himself in a horrible position. He has lost the lead. Sunshine is now starting to pull away. Here comes Ludacris speed, and Ludacris is going to catch Lynx at a very inopportune part of the racetrack. Oh, Lynx goes really wide. Ludacris wants Lynx to get out of his racing line right away because this will be Ludacris' best chance to get by Sunshine, potentially for the race lead. Lynx pulls to the inside. He'll come into the pits. And Lynx, the dominant man all day, now finds himself out of it. And Sunshine and Ludacris are now going to have a duel for the lead to the end of this race. This could get very interesting very quickly.
Yes, indeed. All of a sudden, there is light at the end of the tunnel, potentially for Ludacris.
Also, Vera now goes back into a podium position, back in third. Vera honestly could have an incredible performance. Again, 2 weeks ago, our first race of the season was fighting to just stay on the lead lap. Here, podium could be in the cards for her. The fortunes have been completely different today compared to what we saw at Monza.
Ooh, yes. What you would need to do is hold on.
So when they get to the line, it will be 8 laps to go. Sunshine leads over Ludacris. It is a mano-y-mano fight. Sunshine in McLaren has a little bit more handling ability. Ludacris has a lot more straight line speed, though.
Oh,
in this circuit, Sunshine's had all of a sudden has lost a chunk of time. There's no sign of damage to the car, but he has lost a chunk of time.
Made a mistake, or maybe he went wide or something like that.
Well, I saw him really dance that car aggressively out of the heaviest braking zone, but it didn't look like he lost a lot of time until they crested over the hill. But now Ludacris is within striking distance, so the fight for the win is still on. We only have 5 drivers on track, but we still are in tune for an incredible fight to the end, honestly. And the other thing to consider is that Lynx has been faster than Vera throughout the day. If Lynx doesn't have another incident, we could see a fight for podium still go down. And Lynx and Vera are in the same car. They're both in Brabhams. So it'll be interesting to see how that fight for third could play out. But right now, Ludacris, he's falling off a little bit now. The gap opens back up to about 1.5 seconds. But Sunshine in this McLaren we're riding out of the back of here in the broadcast booth really seems to be struggling a bit, coming uphill. And this seems to be where Ludacris starts to close back in. The gap goes back down to 1.2 seconds. You can see that Eagle so sideways. I like driving these cars. I cannot drive them fast for sure. My goodness, Ludacris gets so high over that hill. You could basically put two other Eagles underneath that thing. He's now within a second as they go into the S's.
That is the
but he
one
throws it all
area
away.
I think he needs. Oh, that area is the one area that I think Ludacris might have an advantage over Sunshine here.
Yeah. These two cars, this McLaren and the Eagle, they're not complete opposites, but diametrically they are opposed when it comes to where they are stronger at the track. If Sunshine has a bit of a mistake again and Ludacris gets right behind, we could see these two really put on an interesting show because it would be the perfect ideal. I know a lot of people like to say, in racing, you want to have the cars as equal as possible. Well, that gives you the second best kind of show. If you just want to see good overtakes and drivers trying to out-strategize and outgame each other, the best kind of showcase you can have are two cars that are diametrically opposed to each other. And that's what we're seeing here. Eagle has some incredible straight line speed. The McLaren has a lot more handling. I don't know, though, if Ludacris is able to get back up to Sunshine before this is over on just pace merit alone. Right now, look at this gap. It's at 1.8 seconds. He starts closing right here on this run up to the hill as we ride on board with him. You can actually hear him let out of the throttle just before he gets to the hill, just so he cushions the impact down again. And look at that. He carries so much speed out of that you go through the first half of the S's, and he carries all that momentum. He brings the gap down to about 1.2 seconds, and it'll kind of keep it semi-stabilized here on the front straightaway. But for the rest of the track, basically, until you get to the heavy braking zone, it goes back in Sunshine's favor because all these corners are all about handling. And that's where we're seeing that McLaren is a lot better than this Eagle at.
Yes, indeed.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to choke you out of the broadcast.
It's all right, dude. It's all right. Energy is almost literally depleted after that beginning, so it's apologies.
Gap opens back up to about 1.6 seconds, about 1.5 when they get into the braking zone. Sunshine takes a really, really wide line entering, but in that McLaren, he can afford to get away with that. It has a lot more handling, so he takes that wider line so he can maintain a little bit more speed through the corner.
Gap is
1.5, 1.4 seconds. Here we are. You see the gap starts closing once again here on the run up to the hill. And Alan, does he get off the throttle?
He jumps, but here comes.
Oh my goodness, he did not let out of the throttle. Look at this now. He is within half a second of Sunshine all of a sudden.
Oh my God, something. Maybe something.
I think Sunshine, I don't know if Sunshine is struggling with inconsistency. We know the Eagle is struggling with inconsistency. I think Sunshine is struggling with it also, because this is twice now we've seen Sunshine throw away a huge chunk of time. Ludacris is now close enough. He can get a draft off of that McLaren in a straight line.
Yes, it's now gap is under 100 feet between these two.
Also, there's a fight going on for third as well because Lynx has caught Vera. But this is the fight for the win. There's a fight for all three podium positions right now. Oh, Ludacris taps the outside wall. Did he damage the car, though?
Nope, absolutely not. Keeps it going, all clean.
Oh, this time Sunshine takes a really tight line, and Ludacris entered really wide. Ludacris trying to have a straight exit out. This actually favored Sunshine quite a bit, though.
But again, the gap is stays relatively close here. Remember, Ludacris has not led a lap. Majority of the
Yeah,
laps
he's
have
been
either-
in the.
He's been.
Yeah, he's been in contention for this
And
fight
he's been-
all day long,
yeah,
but he
he's
has
been-
not led a lap today.
Yeah, he started on pole. He was on the pole and never led. So this might be a rare instance where Hulsetter does not lead a single lap, potentially. As we have about 4 laps to go.
Here comes Lynx to the inside, dives to the inside of Vera through the S's. He's by without issue.
Yes.
And Lynx will likely pull away from Vera. So Vera just really doesn't have the speed to really put up a defense against Lynx, who has been our fastest man all day long. Fastest person all day long, I guess. It would be
Yes.
wrong to say man. Vera is a
The
woman,
fastest driver.
Fastest driver. Yeah, we'll just stick with that. All right, so this fight for a lead. We are down with just 4 laps to go. Closer to about 3.5 laps to go right now.
Yes, 3.5. About 3.5 laps to go. But go.
This is where Ludacris is the strongest compared to Sunshine. Sunshine taking a wider line, Ludacris taking a tighter line.
Yes, as you can see.
Opens up the power.
Well,
It's
this
within
might be
4
the
tenths.
chance. This might be his
3
chance.
tenths. Oh
Here
my
he
goodness! He's got within 50 feet, within 40 feet of Sunshine. He's within 30 feet of Sunshine.
And-
Side by side as they come into the S's. Can't keep it though.
But they were close. Gap's a 1 car length lead for Sunshine right now.
This start-finish line straight will
Three to
favor
go.
Ludacris a bit. He'll have the draft, but he can't send it into turn 1 the same way that Sunshine can, and the gap immediately opens back up in favor of the McLaren. It's 3 laps to go now.
This could be setting up for hopefully a fantastic finish here.
I mean, even if one of these 2 drivers crash out now, I don't care. This has been a fantastic race, considering the small
Exactly.
numbers we've had, and yet we've had action on track all day long. I don't care. This has been a fantastic race. I don't care what anyone else says.
Yes, absolutely. It has been one hell of a race here.
Oh, that Eagle struggles so much in the braking zone, but Sunshine similarly seems to struggle in the corner right after it. And then this run to the hill, this is where Ludacris is at his strongest. The gap's a little bit larger this time than where it was prior. Maybe that's better for Ludacris, because then he won't have to back out in the S's to deal with that McLaren. It's back down to 4 tenths as they jump over the hill once more.
And here comes Ludacris once again. Does he have any momentum right now? Sunshine
I'm
goes
actually going
one.
to turn the map off because I think at this point everyone else's positions are locked in. It will come down. It will be 2 laps to go at the line. Those last 2 corners in the S's just absolutely kill Ludacris because he just can't carry any more speed through those 2 corners. It favors Sunshine so much.
Or maybe, just maybe, Ludacris might be potentially hiding something.
Well, if he's hiding pace, he honestly needs to start opening it up now. You don't want to hide pace and then potentially overdo it when you open up full pace and end up wrecking here. Wrecking on the last lap would be horrible. Vera and Lynx are close enough that if one of these 2 wrecked on the last lap, they might fall off of the podium positions. Gap's a little bit larger this time than it was last time. I think Sunshine has kind of brought it together a bit.
But here comes Ludacris now with that tight line once again.
Yeah, he opens it up really, really straight-ish as he jumps over the hill. This is where he gets his closest to Sunshine and carries so
here
much
he
speed.
goes,
Oh my
here he goes.
goodness. He
He's
had
right
to back
there.
out of it. But he's still there. He goes to the inside.
tries.
Sunshine runs wide. He can't keep it side by side still.
Oh, that's been the closest it's been all race. It's going to come down to that area.
White flag. White flag. One more time around for these 2.
Yeah, white flag in the air.
I don't think Ludacris has what it takes to get by Sunshine. But if Sunshine makes even the smallest of mistakes, I would not be surprised if we see that Eagle landing on top of that McLaren as they go over the jump. Most of this day had been dominated by Brabhams, but accidents have taken them out of contention for this victory. It is Eagle versus McLaren at the front.
This could be potentially historic in some
Ludacris
cases.
did not have an ideal line going through that heavy braking zone. Sunshine's a lot farther ahead now. I don't think Ludacris is close enough to do anything. Unless Sunshine has a big mistake, I think Sunshine's put together
look at
just
that
enough of a
line.
good first half of the lap.
Is
Yeah, the
there
gap's
enough?
more than a second now. Ludacris is not close enough unless Sunshine makes a mistake. Final time
Here
through
he
the
comes.
S's.
Here he comes.
Yeah, but he'll have to back out going through these last few corners.
Is it enough?
Ludacris just
Enough?
can't carry. No, it's not enough. It is not enough.
Oh,
Ludacris is
it
going
is
to close
not.
the gap down
Oh,
in the final
great.
corner, but not enough. There's just not enough time. Your race winner,
Is-
unexpectedly, is going to be Mr. Sunshine. He's going to build me a dream here at the Bernese Alps. Ludacris Speed will come home with a second place finish, and it looks like it will be Lynx, who dominated the majority of this race, is going to come home in third position here. As long as it doesn't wreck in the final corner. Nope. Lynx will come home in third. Fourth place will go to Vera. A great recovery drive from where she was 2 weeks ago at Monza. And fifth place will go to Larry. It may be last of everyone running on the track, but Larry can be happy with the fact that he will bring home a great points day in this day that is just been about survival here.
Yes, indeed.
I'm going to try real quickly and get our finishers
yes.
into the party here. But that was an absolutely incredible race, to say the least. Really want to hear what Sunshine has to say, if anything, about his performance today. All right, well, coming into the party right now are some of our finishers here. I want to start with our third place finisher, LMP Lynx. Lynx, go ahead, include your audio. Dominant performance, all came unraveled there near the end. Walk us through that race from your perspective, mate.
Yeah, well, I kind of lost that because I overcooked it going into whatever the turn number is. And yeah, I kind of sold. Apart from that, I probably would have won.
Still, an absolutely amazing performance. Do you think you can replicate this across the rest of the season?
No.
Oh, all right. I mean, at least you're honest. What about that start, mate? You were going 3, 4, and even 5 wide on the opening lap. Anything you want to say about that, even?
Big balls.
You're in a Brabham, not a McLaren, but I can respect that. Any reference to the old James Hunt is absolutely worth it. All right. Fantastic drive out there, mate. I really hope we get to see you some more in the upcoming races, mate. Great performance there. All right, now I want to go ahead and talk with our second place finisher, Ludacris Speed. Ludacris, go ahead, include your audio.
Yep.
Started on the pole, but did not lead a single lap. Despite that, you were in the talks for this race win, literally down to the last corner. What do you have to say about that run today?
Well, I kind of didn't expect to start very well. This car is very much a flying lap car. It has terrible off-the-line acceleration. But I feel like if it weren't for the 3 spins I had today, 2 of them being into the large mud pit, I guess that is, and 1 being off of the S's, I probably could have easily won this race. But honestly, after 3 spins, being able to battle back like that and getting that close to Sunshine towards the end, in my opinion, it's better to finish like that than lead and somehow choke right at the finish.
Yeah, I want to talk about one of those spins. Obviously, we saw you were obviously battling dark, sir, before getting loose and getting into the TORA wall. What happened in that battle?
I just overcooked it. That's all. Missed my break. Got too focused on Darkster's bumper, trying to see where he'd go to try and defend, and the car is just so fast downhill. By the time I looked up, the braking marker was in my rearview mirror. So from at that point, it was just minimize the damage, hope you don't get damage. And let me tell you, the racing gods were in my passenger seat today, because every time I hit the wall, I didn't get damage once today.
That's
Incredible. All right, so Monza was a circuit that very much favored the Eagle. You came home with a podium there. This track really doesn't favor the Eagle. You still come home with a podium here. What do you think your chances are for the championship?
I hope they're good. I do have to thank in part the 2 people ahead of me in points for not showing up. I hope they still don't show up. Nothing against them. It just helps me in points. But they got to give a big applause to TMS Derp for hooking me up with this car. The boys at TMS, they do a great job putting a car together. They always put out a competitive car, and it's up to me to not blow it like I did tonight to get it to victory lane. But no, it was a great car. I'm gonna talk to him again here tonight, let him know how the car did. I think he might be watching this stream right now. I've been streaming my POV tonight. But Derp, if you're watching this, great job. If you're not watching this, I'll talk with him tonight. See if what is it, Road America next?
Spa.
I hope it's Spa's
Spa.
next. Spa. That'll be a good one. All right, yeah, I'll talk to him on that, and we'll see if we can do it again and maybe get this thing to victory lane for once.
All right, thanks for jumping in and talking with us. Great drive today. Now I want to talk with our race winner, Mr. Sunshine. You know what they say. I don't have to say the song anymore, but Sunshine, an absolute dream performance today in that McLaren. Wasn't up front for a large chunk of this race, but not too many mistakes on your end, and that brings home a victory. What do you have to say about your run today, Sunshine?
Turns out when you don't go into a wall, you have a better chance of winning the race. So, I mean, I hit the wall, I think lap 1, and got slowed down and got dropped to last, and then I was making some time up and then smacked the wall again, but luckily I just only got like steering damage, so it wasn't a huge deal, and I just pit. But I'll tell you what, running away from Ludacris at the end was terrifying.
No, I won't lie. There was a few moments there. I was afraid that he was going to plant that Eagle right on top of your McLaren and crush your skull there, honestly. Okay, so a great performance from you today. What are your anticipations for the next few weeks?
I think the McLaren will do okay at Spa, since that's where I originally tuned the car at. But if Critical's back next week, I'm not expecting to win. Let me check and see which track is after Spa. Oh, then we go to Silverstone. I think it'll be decent at Silverstone. Though Alan's gonna have I don't think Alan will be in contention at Spa because it's too much curves. But Silverstone, I'll have to watch out for him.
All right, well, either way, mate, fantastic drive there. Great defensive run through the end. Being able to pick up the pieces, take home a win. Absolutely can hold your head proud and high today. Great job.
Thank you. Thanks for streaming.
One
the
more
race,
person I
too.
want to talk to is Vera Tabinix, or just Vera. 2 weeks ago at Monza, horrendous time, just struggling to stay on the lead lap. Today, a 4th place finish. Great performance. What do you have to say about your run today?
Told you, I'm back stronger. I love the Bernese Alps. The car is a lot more suited to the pile of long sweepers that this track is. Not so great down the straightaway. It's still a little underpowered, but I think it's the only car on the grid that doesn't have an oversteer problem. And it's just a delight to drive. And this race was delightful. I managed to hold 3rd for a little bit, but you know what? I'll take a 4th.
All right, so in about a week's time, series will be going underway at Spa. What do you think your chances are with the Brabham there? We know Sector 1 might not be the greatest, but you should have an advantage in the Al Rouge Radeon complex. Sector 2 should really favor the Brabham. What's your anticipations for yourself at Spa?
I'm half tempted to show up with a bulldozer because I hate Radeon. But we'll see how it goes. I'm
All
gonna
right.
give the track a lot of practice and see what I can do with it.
All right. Well, outright outstanding drive out there. Hopefully we get to see another repeat. Great job out there. And that will pretty much wrap up our broadcast here from the Bernese Alps Stadplatte circuit. A very interesting race. We see a lot of faces that we weren't normally used to seeing. A lot of faces that we're used to seeing up front, nowhere near it. A lot of faces we're used to seeing near the back, near the front. Just kind of really all over the place. But in the end, Mr. Sunshine is your race winner here in the McLaren. We should more than likely see Ludicrous Speed end up taking home the points lead now. But remember, in this 7-race season, there is going to be a drop round. So things could still be really up in the air. I've been your host, Insane Leader 13. I've been joined today by SGR Dramora here in the broadcast booth. Dramora, thanks for jumping in with us. I do look forward to seeing you on track at Nürburgring in the future, and maybe in the broadcast booth in a few more races between now and then.
Yes, I do want to mention that real quick. I may, to prepare myself for Nürburgring, I may be on track next week at Spa.
That would be incredibly based if you did so. Alright, but anyways, thank you everyone very much for watching. Tomorrow night we will be watching AGRL's F122 series as they get underway at their 5th race of the season. But until then, thank you and goodbye.
Peace out, everyone.